coming up to Brigsdale this morning. Yesterday I fell, hurt my foot even more, so it's really hurting at the moment, so I have to be careful. But look at that. Awesome. So here we are at the base of Brigsdale. Behind me you can see it, and it's really beautiful with the beautiful blue lake behind it as well. Now you have to imagine that in the 1800s this was way down the valley, so within 10-20 years we won't be able to see it anymore, unfortunately. But for now we can still enjoy the beauty. We are on top of the Loon Skylift at the moment, at about 1 kilometer height above sea level, and this is the steepest skylift in the world, and it gets you some breathtaking views. Now we've had some clouds on and off on a regular basis now, but right now the view is great all around me. And as you can see, this is behind me the valley that we just came from with Brigsdale. And if we turn a little bit further, that's the valley that we did yesterday. So we got a view of both these valleys with the fjord as well, and it is really breathtaking, this view. I wish there were more sun involved here, that would be very awesome. But right now it is freaking cold, and the kids are actually playing a little bit of snow and ice at the same height as we are right now. So that gives you an idea of how cold it is currently. But yeah, it is what it is, and we have to deal with it. But still, the view is breathtaking. Now, because of the cold and the wind, I think we'll head back down soon, and then we go back to our house, where we will have a nice dinner and relax a little bit. Welcome to day 15 of our trip, and for those who are wondering what happened to day 14, well, it was a resting day. Had too much trouble with my foot and really needed to let it rest for a day so we could continue on this journey and do some more interesting hikes for the rest of the holiday. Right now we are on our way to Randsverk, which is our next destination, where we will sleep with the huskies, which the kids will obviously love. We did the same thing a couple of years ago and it was very awesome, so we hope to get the same experience this time. As you can see behind me, today is going to be a day full of nice views and nice roads to drive, so we will take a lot longer than what Google Maps or what the navigation actually says, because there will be a lot of picture stops along the way, but who can blame us with these kinds of views? So let's discover a little bit more of the beauty while we go to our next stop, which is Gamle Stryn, which is a very nice road. Unfortunately, we're driving it in the wrong direction. We're driving it out of the valley instead of into the valley, but that means we just have to look backwards a little bit more and stop a little bit more to enjoy the views in the other direction. We are at the top of Gamle Strynefjellsvegen, and as you can see, the kids love to play on the ice a little bit. Each time we come across a patch of ice, they always want to play on it, especially during summer. So it's weird for them. But unfortunately, it's a little bit clouded at the moment, otherwise the views would have been really beautiful. But still, it is a beautiful road to drive and you should not miss it if you come this way in Norway. We are here charging up at the Bismo supercharger, and we're charging up all the way to 100% this time, because for the next couple of days we won't be encountering any superchargers anymore, and we're not sure about the local charging solutions. I have multiple cards from Fortum Charge and Drive, from the Grunkontakt, the old ones, but I never actually used them, and now they seem to not be working, and that's unfortunate. And then there was an option to install an app a couple of days ago, was on the charger. They wanted me to install an app, and then I have to register a credit card. But for registering the credit card, I needed to have this little small like calculator thing to accept the credit card and give some kind of code in there, which I don't have with me. So unfortunately, public charging is not an option at the moment, so we'll have to make do with destination charging if we can, or with the superchargers. And so far it has been helpful, and we haven't been in any problems with the charging since. So now we're charging up, having lunch in the meantime, and then we move on to the Klimapark, where we will go inside a glacier and see the inside of it, which will be interesting to see, of course. And then we move on to Randsverk, our final destination for today. You know, it's currently 38 degrees Celsius in Belgium at the moment, and here we are in Norway, freezing our asses off with temperatures close to zero and high wind speeds, which makes it really cold at the moment. On day 16 of our trip, and what a morning it is. Almost clear blue skies, we got some clouds over there, but the weather is a lot better than what we have seen in the past 7 days. So that's a big bonus for us. Tomorrow will be even better. Yesterday evening we got to meet the big dogs already for a little bit, and we saw the puppies also. Now this morning we're going to take the puppies on a walk through the forest. Last time we did that, it was really fun, so I expect the same today, of course. To conclude our day here, we are now on our way to Randsverk, or the Knight's Jump, which is a gorge which on its narrowest point is only about 2.5 meters apart or wide, and it is named after a legend about a knight who took his girl and jumped over this gorge to snatch her from her actual fiancé. So that is where we are going now, and then we head back to the Husky Lodge, where tonight we can enjoy the company of the 40 big huskies once more before tomorrow we move on to our next location, and our last location, where we will actually stay for 4 nights and do some interesting stuff. First stop of today is Yen, the beautiful lake behind me, and well, you could do a walk up that ridge there all the way across the lake and then come back with the boat, but that's a 14-kilometer hike and it's really strenuous, but it should be a beautiful one. But we're not going to do that with the kids. Maybe we'll come back another day and do that mandatory hike if you want to do all the beautiful hikes here in Norway. So right now we're enjoying a little bit the view here from the lake, and then we move on to our next picture stop. Today we are driving over the Valderesvlie National Road, and behind me you can see it's basically a work of art where they deliberately put the one stone on top of the other. But more importantly, it gives us a viewpoint across the valley behind me, which is gorgeous. So now we move on to the next stop. So here we are again at another extremely beautiful viewpoint on the Valderesvlie National Road, and this is what it is all the time. So it's so beautiful. It's totally different from the fjords, where you have these very high peaks very rapidly next to the fjords. Here it's more wide open region, but it's just as beautiful. We are here at the Ål supercharger, and we're about 25 minutes away from Ål, where we are staying. It's our last location and we will be staying there for 4 nights. So we need to charge up here so we can drive around a little bit in the next 4 days. And in the meantime we will grab some lunch. We'll have to do some shopping afterwards. And this afternoon we were in Brigsdale, and we did the summer park, which was really nice to do, with a bobbahn, a rodelbahn kind of thing, but with the free carts in the tube, and downhill driving with some carts. But unfortunately it started raining quite heavily for briefly but just at the time that I was being pulled up for the downhill cart, so I was soaking wet. My wife and the kid were on the telefric up the mountain, and they were soaking wet as well, so we had to abort that plan a little bit sooner than we had hoped. But here we are, it's dinner time, and right now we're going to grab dinner while the car is charging again, and then we are off to our last location.